The announcement of 2 new NCIS spin-off series signaled major changes for the NCIS franchise, and of the 2, NCIS Origins is taking a huge risk that NCIS Tony and Ziva isn't. The spin-off shows share a few key similarities, the main one being that both will expand the narrative of core Major Case Response Team (MCRT) members that appeared in the original NCIS show. However, the series exploring the backstory of Mark Harmon's legendary Leroy Jethro Gibbs, NCIS Origins, is departing from the show significantly. As such, the franchise will offer viewers 2 very different character revivals when they premiere. The new shows will explore the lives of Gibbs, Tony, Michael Weatherly, and Ziva, Cote de Pablo. Gibbs and Tony had been with the franchise since its origin, featured in the 2 episodes of the legal drama JAG that served as a backdoor pilot for NCIS. Both characters would appear in NCIS Season 1, Episode 1, Yankee White. Ziva would join the cast of NCIS in Season 3 following the departure of Kate Todd, Sasha Alexander. All 3 characters are pivotal to the franchise, but the revival of Harmon's character is different from the return of Tony and Ziva. NCIS Tony and Ziva actors will reprise their roles in their spin-off, young Gibbs will not. NCIS Origins will introduce a new actor to the franchise to play Jethro Gibbs. A key element of NCIS Tony and Ziva is that Michael Weatherly and Cote de Pablo will reprise their roles as Tony and Ziva. Tony and Ziva's romance will leap forward into the couple's future, in contrast to Harmon's spin-off that will follow Gibbs earlier in time. Michael and Cote are in their 40s and 50s, respectively, with the series following them at a mature time in their lives. While it may be a risk to portray the agents as parents rather than falling in love in their youth, the NCIS Origins cast will take a greater risk. In March, showrunners announced that Austin Stoll had been cast as young Gibbs. Stoll will mark the 4th actor to portray Gibbs. Micah Taylor Owens portrayed Gibbs as a child, and Mark Harmon was Gibbs in his central NCIS timeline. Harmon's son, Sean Harmon, filled in for Gibbs as a young adult. Rather than seeing the original actor, Sean Harmon as young Gibbs, return to the role, recasting Gibbs is what sets Origins apart. While the Tony and Ziva spin-off may be taking risks portraying the agents in their midlife, it will offer viewers 2 familiar faces. Sean Harmon could have reprised his role given NCIS timeline. Mark Harmon's son is the perfect age to reprise the role of Gibbs. Sean Harmon as a young Leroy Jethro Gibbs in a flashback scene from NCIS. Given the timeline, Sean Harmon was in the perfect position to reprise his role as young Gibbs. According to the NCIS timeline, Leroy Jethro Gibbs was born November 21, 1954. In the 1970s, Gibbs enlisted in the United States Marine Corps and served until he was honorably discharged in 1991 with the rank of gunnery sergeant. NCIS Origins will open in the year 1991, when Gibbs is newly assigned to the Camp Pendleton office. Calculations suggest that Gibbs was about 37 years old when he joined the fledgling NIS office. The timeline perfectly aligns for the young Gibbs to reprise his role. Sean Harmon turned 36 years old in April 2024. It would be an obvious choice to rule out the younger Harmon if the timelines didn't match up, but to the contrary, it happened to work out. While the timeline is rarely perfectly synced up in the shared NCIS universe, this is an instance where the timing could not have been more opportune. That said, Austin Stoll turned 39 years old at the end of 2023, making him an appropriate age for the role as well. Why NCIS Origins is taking a major risk recasting Sean Harmon. Mark Harmon's son has already been established as young Gibbs. A close-up of young Gibbs in a flashback in NCIS. Ever since Mark Harmon exited NCIS, viewers have hoped to see his character return. That said, while Origins will see the character revived, Gibbs will look different in the upcoming series, and NCIS Origins is taking a risk by recasting Sean Harmon's young Gibbs. The whole point of the Origins spin-off is to revisit the character. If that's the intention, it's an interesting choice to introduce a new actor for the role where one has already been established. It would be different if young Gibbs had never been portrayed, but Sean Harmon established young Gibbs in several appearances. Sean Harmon portrayed Gibbs in flashbacks in Season 6, Episodes 4, Heartland, and 15, Deliverance. He returned in Season 7, Episode 16, Mother's Day. In Season 9, Harmon made appearances in Episode 8, Engaged Part 1, Episode 9, Engaged Part 2, and Episode 14, Life Before His Eyes. Sean Harmon's final appearance as young Gibbs was in Season 18, Episode 2, Everything Starts Somewhere, which explored Gibbs' early days of friendship with Ducky. Sean Harmon positioned himself as young Gibbs, and the episodes that feature him are some of the best NCIS episodes across the show's 21 seasons.